how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have you guys here with us tonight. Sorry I'm a little late, but that's just what happens. It's just what happens. This is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show. I said it's your nerdy talk show where we sit back, relax, and hopefully by now you've poured yourself just a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
as we cruise into the weekend. One more time.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
And I'm excited. I am excited. Two in the Box finally arrived. Talk about that. We got a new trailer today for a certain super movie. Excited about that. And of course, we'll talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. Realize my light back here is not on, and the remote I think is downstairs. So I don't have that, but it's fine. It's okay. Maybe I'll turn it on later, or maybe not at all. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Anthony's joining us, the rambling nerd, so he'll be on in a little bit. But we'll get the show on the road. But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. It is me, Detective Colties. It is me. I'm the problem. It's me. This camera's crazy, man. I've been having camera issues, and I think I can't actually fully tell if it's the camera, if it's the lens. I don't know it's the combination of everything. But yeah. And right now, like what wasn't working before is working. It's a thing. But you guys don't care about that. You care about the show. So let's do the show. And actually, let me just click on this stuff first. Boom. Actually, where's the chat? Oh, there's a chat. Did not know where the chat was. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat first. And there he is, the Rambling Nerd. Anthony in the chat, soon to be on the stream. Good to see ya. Patrick in the house. Might miss it tonight, but everyone enjoy. Also, I be dodging them trailers. That's right. Actually, Anthony also for a long time was dodging trailers, but I guess that's changed. That has changed. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. Got some really good opinions on this new Superman trailer of James Gunn. You might like what I have to say, and you might hate what I have to say. But we live in we live in America. Freedom of speech. That is true. I have some thoughts. Cutthroat says, you'll be with us in spirit. I think he means let's be open-minded when it comes to the Superman franchise. Exactly. Rambling Nerd says, this and Creature Commandos are all Gunn's DCU at the moment. I am not really counting Blue Beetle, and Peacemaker season 1 isn't canon, he said, right? I think he said Peacemaker, right? It's Peacemaker. I think he said Peacemaker is canon. That they'll find a way to explain it. Fresh sweet tea with a kick. There you go. I love that. Sleeping Collectibles in the house. Good to see you. Back on YouTube and just dropped a video this past week, so make sure you check that out. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. Wow, Dave said you don't want my opinion on Superman. That's right. I saw that in the group chat. But what I'll do is I'll bring in the Rambling Nerd, and we'll be able to talk about all of this. So, ladies and gents, freaks and geeks, we have the one, the only, Sir Anthony. Can you speak and see if it worked?
I'm here.
There you go. And we don't see you, so you're even better.
Woohoo.
How you doing today?
I am good. I'm better after that trailer. I missed the first few minutes. I don't know if you've talked about it in depth yet.
I've been reading the comments, and some people have comments on the trailer. So I figured, we'll talk about that together. Sleeping says, I'm interested in some Superman right now. So there you go. There you go. KO in the house. Good to see you. I was actually thinking about KO this week because as I was setting up the basement, I put out my Ecto 1 that I have that I forgot I had. That was a gift from KO. So thank you very much.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Millennium Workshop in the house. Good to see you, Rex. So it seems like in the chat, there's actually, I think Sleeping's the only one that said he liked it in the chat. Cutthroat and Dave did not care for it, it seems.
Oh.
So why don't we jump into it? Did you? And you know what we'll do? We won't mention anything that like could ruin like cameos, we'll say, for now. Patrick seems to have dodged it. And I know for a while you were dodging trailers. So maybe for now we can just skip those parts. Certain cameos.
Okay. I'm good with that.
So what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
I mean, and I'll obviously preface this with, like all of us, I've been led astray by a trailer before.
Yeah.
I think this looks good. I like what I saw. It did. I forget who said it. I think it was it you or Sal? Somebody mentioned like to Brandon Routhie. So that in terms is to Christopher Reevesy. But I mean, yeah, I see this. I see where you could make similarities to that, but I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I liked what I saw. Yes, I have usually been avoiding trailers of stuff I really want to see, and I'm not the biggest Superman fan, so I won't do like. And hopefully they've learned by now. But if they do like 3, 4, 5-minute trailers. No, like this is the teaser and then the official trailer whenever that comes out, probably in a couple of months or maybe for the Super Bowl, who knows. I'll do that and then that'll be it. But I don't know. I'm being cautiously optimistic. I think I'm going to give Gunn the benefit of the doubt because he's proven me wrong with Guardians. I went into Guardians 1 thinking, what the fuck is this? Why do I care? Why are they doing this? And I left it saying, that's how you do a Star Wars movie. So if he can do that, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And plus Peacemaker, like we've said, I know he didn't direct all of it, but he wrote it. Peacemaker season 1 blew everything out of the water streaming for the time period. It beat the shit out of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And I think that was 23, right? Or was it 22?
I do want to say, I don't think it beat it out necessarily ratings wise or I don't think it beat it out viewership wise, but it definitely, critically, it definitely beat it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm seeing on the Brandon Routh gave it all the hearts and everything else.
I was curious if you guys could see that screen or not because I was in this different mode. I got to figure this thing out. There's a way for me to change like other scenes and you guys not see it. So I can like kind of like set things up. So I was just testing that out again, and I can't figure out the combination of buttons because it's like you got to do like this one, and then that. It's annoying. But yeah, Brendan Routh, yeah, he liked it. I feel like Brendan is going to always play nice with this kind of thing because if you're the good guy, you always get a chance to come back in. He came back as the Atom. Maybe there's room for him here, and rightfully so. I feel like he made a terrible movie, but at the same time, it's not like he was a bad Superman. It was just a bad movie. So keep it cool every time and just hopefully get those invites, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved the trailer. I told Aaron on a call earlier today. I was like, "Were you also crying today for this movie?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, it was just me." And I literally shed a tear because I was just like, "It's been." This is gonna sound very shill. It's gonna sound so shilly. It's not even funny. I think we've been eating dog shit superhero movies for so long that to finally have a superhero trailer that I'm like, wow, I want to see that movie. I just didn't think that would ever happen or happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been a long ass time. And this trailer was that trailer where I was just like, wow, like this is what I would want. Now, I think what's happening too on the internet is I do think there are people making reaction videos where they don't like the trailer for the sake of getting views of, speaking against the movie. I do think that's happening, but I feel like, to your point, James Gunn in the last couple of years has nailed it so many times that it's like, why doubt him on this one? Like DC definitely, and this might change in the future, but I mean, he's the head of the DC department, but DC has definitely, or Warner Brothers has been like, yo, just do what you need to do. Like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Do what you need to do. And Peacemaker, I mean, was absolutely amazing. Like Peacemaker, like you said, we were more excited for Peacemaker than we were Boba Fett or maybe even Kenobi. Wasn't Kenobi up against something and we were excited, or was it Boba Fett?
Mm-hmm. It was definitely at the same time of Boba Fett, because we were all so very let down by that series, and we didn't expect anything out of Peacemaker. And let's see,
yeah, it was Boba Fett. You're right. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, Kenobi was May 2022,
but we enjoyed Kenobi.
Yeah, we're in the minority on that one.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I still don't get, but whatever.
I think you have to probably rewatch it to understand why people hated it. Because I feel like there's times where, you're watching something on a first pass and certain nitpicks don't occur if you're like enjoying it. And then you try to rewatch it a second time and you're just like, oh, this is like not good. Because now you know where it's going to go, right? The mystery solved. Because every Star Wars show now is 8 episodes, 9 episodes of we need to build up to solve whatever this thing is. Like that's every show now, unfortunately. So now that we know where Kenobi ends up, because I mean, it sounds stupid to even say that, but now that we know where it ended up and how they got to explaining the Kenobi we saw in New Hope, or at least part of that, I feel like now you can rewatch it and see like, all right, is this actually a good show? And I feel like we may not enjoy it as much a second time, but who knows? I mean, there's not many shows I rewatch more than once anyway.
Yeah. I'd be willing to give it a shot. I mean, well, whatever. I'm not going to start talking about Kenobi in depth now because that won't.
But we'll talk about Star Wars. We'll talk about Skeleton Crew in a little bit.
Well, you have to do that because I still haven't seen it, and it's kind of like I forget what other show it was. Maybe it was. I can't even think of his name now. From Rogue One, Andor. Yeah. Because of you guys, I was like, I don't need to see this. I'm good. So,
actually, as I'm trying to set this light up, I'd be curious for you to actually watch Andor, because I feel like people continue to say it's good, and I don't understand it. And I have to preface every time how much I absolutely love Rogue One. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like I'm a hater of the character. I just think the show is terrible, but everybody talks so highly of the show. So I kind of want you to watch it to let me know, your thoughts. But let me catch up on the comments to see where you guys were falling over here on DC. Louis in the house. Good to see you. So Dave said, the trailer didn't impress me, felt lacking. That's me being nice. We'll see what the next trailer brings. That's fair. It is a teaser trailer, but everything now is a teaser trailer. Like at this point, I don't know the difference because teaser trailers are coming out that are 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. And I'm like, that's a trailer at that point.
Yeah.
Louis says, I know Clark Kent is in the movie. That's true. Spoiler. You guys are saying hi to each other. Peacemaker is Chef's Kiss. That is true. It was 2022. Yep. Cutthroat said, here are my thoughts on the teaser trailer. Was a little confusing at first. I do like the classic version of the icon John Williams music with the new update. I have to wait for the official trailer. What did you think of the music? Did you like that?
I like the music, and I was trying to think, was it just an updated score, or was it? I think it said on that screen you had before that the music was original.
No, I don't think so.
But I thought on the Instagram post that you had, but I liked the music. It really was. It was the John Williams updated, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like with guitar.
Maybe there was another piece of music I missed, and that's what he said was original.
I pulled up the post now, and I don't see anything here about original music.
I thought I saw a comment that said original music or something.
Somebody said I was humming the original score. Or sorry, they said humming the original score put me to tears. I hope this makes Christopher Reeve proud of there. But Dave said Peacemaker will be canon except for the scene, the season finale, the cameo, except for the scene, the season finale, that cameo certain heroes, wink, wink. Yep, makes sense. Peacemaker was before the Flash movie. Maybe Gunn will use that to revamp his DCU. I feel like none of that matters now. I feel like that's kind of the direction he was leaning towards. Like I think we all went into Flash thinking it was going to be how they found a way to reset everything. And I feel like he ended up just being like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I think the question mark, unless I'm wrong, I feel like the only question mark at this point is Blue Beetle. Like Blue Beetle is technically Snyderverse. I don't remember any cameos in it, but
no, it's not.
It's not going to be Gunverse. Wasn't that the first movie?
We said Snyder first.
Oh, sorry, you're right. It's not Snyderverse. It's Gunverse, but Gunn didn't make the movie. Superman's the first movie he made.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier in the chat. This and Superman and Creature Commandos are the only real first two installments of his universe that we've gotten. I want to say he edited Blue Beetle a little bit. And I mean, Blue Beetle can still tie in. I was having this argument / discussion with somebody earlier. It's fine for what it is. Like, it is a children's superhero movie. It's like Shazam. Shazam was good. It was definitely more for kids and family because of the nature of the superhero. You had Jaime Reyes in the Blue Beetle suit. It's more targeted for kids. He's just learning his powers and all that stuff. It's not Ted Kord, who's like the adult billionaire tech guy who also dresses up as a beetle at night or anything like that. So I'm okay. And I'm okay if we do want to consider that the kicking off point for his universe. It wasn't terrible. Like, I can't say it was amazing because, again, I wasn't the target audience for this movie. I'm more of the target audience, even though I'm a Batman guy, but you know what I mean. Yeah. It's going to be more for adults and things like that. They shouldn't have, they're not, I mean, can I say spoilers for Blue Beetle?
Oh, yeah. I was going to spoil it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, hopefully there's no cheesy scene where, like, the grandma gets into the fucking flying beetle and we find out she was a revolutionary back in the day and kicks ass. Like, hopefully we don't have Ma and Pa Kent, if they're alive in Superman, like, going to the Fortress of Solitude and grabbing a couple of weapons and, hauling ass to go help Clark.
Yeah.
So as long as we steer away from something like that, we're good.
So this is not necessarily a spoiler because there's nothing that proves this. This is just my theory based on the trailer. I do feel like James Gunn would do something where instead of John Kent dying, it's like Martha that dies and John lives on. Like, I feel like he would reverse that. because we've just seen it so many times. It's the, I don't need to see Uncle Ben die anymore. Like, it's that kind of thing. And,
Yeah.
We saw Aunt May die in whatever the last one was. So I feel like Gunn would do something like that. But yeah, I mean, Blue Beetle, here's the thing. When I started watching the movie, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I've said before, and I don't have issue saying this. Like, I like when there is more diversity in the movies and the shows. Like, a lot of the humor that was happening with his family being Spanish and him being first generation, I related a lot to it. So I was like, oh, haha, that's funny. Like, as a kid, this would have been great. But yeah, I felt like this was more of a kid's movie as was going on. And then, spoiler for Blue Beetle. And then when his dad died, to me, the movie began. Like, that whole scene, that was like, oh, you guys are acting now, and this is good. Like, that was like 3/4 of the way in. And I was like, boom, I'm in. At that point on, I was like, this is a good movie. But I want it to continue. I do want him to come back. And I think everybody should watch the movie. I do think everybody should watch it. And I don't think you have to watch it for the sake of like knowing the universe per se, but it's a fun watch. It's a movie you could put on. Your kids, if they're around, they can watch it. If you want to do other things while it's on, you can watch it. And then when you hear the action, you're just like, what's going on? There's nothing original about the movie. I mean, like you said, he has these powers, F's up trying to learn how to use them, cuts a bus in half, fights a villain that's his powers but reverse. Like, it's all standard big studio. Yeah. So, but it's a good one. It's a good one. I never have issue saying that. Have I rewatched it? No.
Yeah. No, it was a good movie. I watched it once and that was it.
Yeah. You're like, I saw it. I'm good with it. I'm fine with more. Brandon Routh did come back as Superman in the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths as Kingdom Come Superman, and he killed it. He did. That was really good. I forgot about that until you said that. So thanks for saying that. Yes, I was dying for a Kingdom Come Superman Max series. Still am, yeah. Millennium said, hold up, Deadpool Wolverine trailer was great. It was a good trailer, but I was still at the point of like, if this movie sucks, I won't be surprised. Like, I'm more surprised at how good it was, but I wasn't like holding my breath, like this is going to save anything. Like, cause I knew a baseline of what I would get being a Ryan Reynolds movie and being Deadpool. It ended up overperforming, I would say, in my opinion. Like, it was a lot better than I thought. Also cried at the end of that movie with the video montage that played. But I was like, to me, when that movie was done, I was like, you know what? My man was like, I'm going to have fun with this. They, just like I was saying with James Gunn, Marvel was just like, dude, just please make a good movie. Like, I don't care what you do. And he said, fuck it, I'll just do what I want. And he did that. And it ended up being good. I don't know where we go from here, but I think it was a great movie. And I think it was a nice chef's kiss to the Fox universe kind of being done.
Yeah.
But to me, this one was just different. This was different because it's just like, now there's another contender. Like, now DC's in play. DC has not been in play for so long. Now they're in play to get us excited for superhero movies again.
Yeah. And I mean, also to be fair, we said Peacemaker, but with, is it The Suicide Squad was his versus Suicide Squad?
It's a good movie.
He's already had, as far as I'm concerned, success with a DC property.
But is it because people didn't watch it? That's the thing we have to remember. It wasn't, most people didn't see that movie.
Well, no, but people who have seen it, like, enjoyed it and said it, I feel they said it was a good movie. We said it was a good movie. We all agreed, I believe. So I'm just saying, like, I guess when I say people, I'm not talking about the mass audience. I'm talking about our little corner of the world.
Yeah.
So if we're happy with something, it has to be somewhat decent for the masses.
So again, I would say,
but that was a COVID to right onto Max release, I want to say.
It did have a theatrical. That was 2021. And it was the first one. It was their first one after COVID. So it opened up better than Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman was an at-home release that did have a theater open as well. But yeah, 26 mil, and it did not make money.
Nah.
Now, but here's the thing. It, like you said, it's a great movie. More people need to see this movie. I think where it gets muddy is to understand the movie, you kind of have to have watched the first one. Could you maybe go in cold? Sure, but like you're gonna the first couple minutes in, you're gonna be like, I don't know who's this person, where's this from, etc. So I feel like for the casual person, like they may start this movie, feel like they're lost, and lose interest. Enough to the extent that if they're at home watching it by themselves, they're not going to continue. But I think if you're forced to watch it, I think you would like it. Most people. But again, debatable. It's debatable. I just think the numbers. It's hard to argue when it's lost 200 mil.
Yeah, I didn't realize it did that bad.
Yeah.
And wow, Wonder Woman 84 lost even more money.
Yeah. That one naturally, because that was straight home release.
Yeah, but also it was just such a
Terrible
bad movie.
movie.
It would have been like 2 weekends at most and pulled.
But here, if I let me do something here. What was the other filter I had? Oh, this was the filter.
This man and his Excel sheets.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
I know. Don't stand up for a few minutes, by the way. There it is.
You know what?
What? Huh?
All right, so going up here. No. Wow, Far From Home was pre-COVID. I thought that was COVID. Interesting. All right, so you had Far From Home, killed it, and then New Mutants, which took forever to come out. That's your COVID run. So New Mutants is 2020, right? Yeah, 2020. And then you have this group here. There's the other Spider-Man movie. That's what I was thinking of. So this block here of 5 movies was your I'm not sure about going to theater. And I think for those who did go to the theater, they were like, this ain't worth it. New Mutants, not worth it. Wonder Woman 84, terrible. Black Widow, terrible. Suicide Squad's the only one that was good. But it's in that mix of shit.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, not terrible. But after all of these, anybody who debated going to the movies was not going to risk going again on Shang-Chi, which is not going to happen. And the cast actually said that. The cast were mad because Shang-Chi was the first movie that didn't have a dual release. That was the first one that was exclusive in theaters. And they were like, why are we the guinea pigs to this thing? So still made money. Actually did very well domestically. I thought it would slam dunk international. Lockdowns still kept going internationally when we stopped. But yeah, it was just, buried in shit. So that's why I think that also helped with the movie The Suicide Squad not performing well. It was a long rant, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Hard to argue when it's all laid out like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a great movie.
And while we're talking, can you just scroll over? Do you have the year release? No Way Home was end of 2019, early 2020, or no?
So we had Far From Home, and then No Way Home was 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember too, that was an issue because Shang-Chi was the first one that they were like, it's exclusive in theaters. And people were like, all right, this is the test run. No Way Home is going to be exclusive in theaters. This sucks. I don't want to go back to theaters. Eternals comes out, also bombs, also a shitty movie. And people are like, there's no way No Way Home is going to make a lot of money because these two movies, not worth it going to theaters, not the best reviewed. Spider-Man's probably going to tank. And sure enough, this was my first one back in theaters. And for a lot of people, it was their first one back in theaters. And, history wrote itself there.
Yeah,
they killed it.
I think Black Widow was my first one in theaters. Oof.
Sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Some reason I thought that was around New Year's as well, but it wasn't.
No, that was the summer.
Wait, I don't have that on here. Do I have it just on Marvel? No, DC too. I didn't put on here. They have a theatrical release. The Snyder Cut. That was that winter?
Was home release.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that didn't have a theatrical release.
No, that's why it's not on the list.
Yeah, they might. I heard a while ago they were gonna. Your buddy Kevin Smith was gonna have a screening, and maybe a couple other places, but I don't know. I don't think it was gonna have a massive one, especially not now.
Yeah, he did do the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, but
we'll never see that either.
Yeah, it seems dead in the water.
My crazy theory for the Gunverse is he'll do like some sort of Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, and that's where we'll see like Henry Cavill and some of these other guys again. Obviously not Val Kilmer, right. Batman, but like maybe he can coax Chris O'Donnell back as the older Robin, maybe even in like the hybrid. I'm gonna try to find it. There was like a Robin bat suit hybrid that he wore.
I don't like it. I mean, are we all? Do people want Chris O'Donnell back? Not that I hate
no,
him,
I'm just. I mean, not that I hate. That was just the first example of like other movies that popped into my head. Like that wouldn't have been all the Snyderverse actors.
Yeah,
but
I'll keep going in the comments while you look for that.
Yep.
Louis said he definitely did kill it. That was that suit is Chef's kiss. You might be talking about Deadpool at that point.
I think he was talking about the the Brandon Routh Kingdom Come suit.
Oh, okay. Dave said, that's why I didn't do a reaction video, not doing it for sake of views, plus plenty of negative people out there. I love Gunn's work. This trailer just felt off and lacking. Something I didn't disagree with was people said that it looked very CW. Like it looked like something that could end up on CW. I didn't completely disagree with that. I did think a lot of it looked like it could use more work, but maybe that's the look he's going for, where it does have like come on guys, it's a superheroes type of vibe to it. Like instead of trying to make it look dark and realistic. I don't know, but I agree with it. It looks like it could be on CW for sure. I don't necessarily agree with people crapping on the costume, but I can see that's very subjective. Dave said exactly. Mega Dan in the house. Good to see you. Say yo, everyone. 6 more days till Christmas. 4 days till my day program Christmas party. Oh, nice. There you go. He says, I think the new Superman movie looks interesting to me. Yeah, for sure. K Walk in the house. Good to see you. Says, hey, nerds. Steve in the house. Good to see you. Wait for the button to reset. Mm-hmm. Good to see you. Steve, are you going to buy a new suit?
When you're ready.
Oh, cool. Right. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Cutthroat said, to be honest, I fell asleep during Blue Beetle. I didn't hate it, but I don't think it's my DC favorite. Yeah. You know what? Let's pull up. What's that? I always forget the name of that website where I have the list.
Ranker? No. Ooh.
Oh, Letterboxd. Here we go.
Letterboxd.
I typed in list and it came up. Let's go to the DC ranking here. So I have DC EU pre-Gun, Zack Snyder rankings. All right, so I need to do a DC like all. I gotta make that. I counted this one in it. I mean, I feel like this list, the only issue you guys would have is Man of Steel. But I feel like the rest of it is pretty... I think we were all aligned on it.
Looking real quick, I'd probably argue that The Flash should be much lower next to Black
84.
Adam and Wonder Woman 84.
I wouldn't argue. I honestly... I mean, you guys know I love the movie, but I wouldn't argue that it deserves to be lower.
Yeah. And I never saw Aquaman 2, so I can't and speak to that.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah. Well, you have it in number 5.
I do have it at number 5. I watched Aquaman 2
I mean,
on the Peloton.
God.
I was because Peloton be Pelotoning, and some days there's an app on there, some days there's not. And in that point in time, HBO Max was on the bike. Now it's not. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do 25 or 20 or 30 minute rides just with something on just to get moving. So Aquaman became my thing. So for a couple days in a row, I would watch the 20 30 minutes of Aquaman 2 at a time. And it's not great. I would stretch to say it's good, but it's very much I would expect that movie on TBS on a Saturday while I'm doing chores that's on. I don't have to change channel. Like, right. I'm good with it playing, and I may even like stop a couple times to watch. I think there's a couple scenes where you might be like, I'll hold off what I'm doing just to see what's happening. I'm just gonna go back to the list real quick. I do maintain that it deserves to be on the higher end of this. Again, Man of Steel will throw the list off, but it's definitely in the watchable category of like you can put it on and like enjoy it.
Okay.
Super
and that's another movie, by the way, where I feel like kind of like The Rise of Skywalker, there could be, not as many different versions, but even Justice League, there's different versions of that movie because, if you remember, like leading up to it, Affleck was back again, Affleck was out again, Keaton was going to do more movies, Batgirl was still in full swing with Keaton, but Momoa is on whatever, I don't remember if it was a talk show or just like a podcast, and he's like gushing, Ben's back, and stuff like that. So I want to see, in a world where if we do get one day the ultimate or the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, just release all the other, like release a version of the Flash that has like Batman, Ben Affleck Batman in that black suit with the white bat that you see in like you know which one I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that you've seen from the stills and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see it. Just give me it all.
So this is what you sent me. Dick Grayson fan art celebrates the hardcore Robin who never became Nightwing.
Yeah, and then further down the page is the actual. That's just the fans, but further down the page is the suit I was talking about.
Yeah, like why not?
So
yeah,
if you're gonna go crazy with it, why not? Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a Superman in that hypothetical crisis movie that doesn't fly, that just leaps everywhere, and the other Supermen are like, "Are you fucking kidding me? How what?
Yeah,
come on."
You reminded me actually yesterday on my Peloton, I was watching Justice League Unlimited, and there's an episode called Patriots Day, and in that one, the general in that universe, I forget his name, essentially pulls a Red Hulk and injects himself. It wasn't Lois Lane's dad. It was somebody else.
No, Lang, Lang.
Oh, maybe it could be.
For some reason, Lang popped in my head, but whatever. And of course, I know the exact episode that you're talking about, and it had all the other guys.
Yeah. Well, Lang was Lana Lane's dad, right? Patriot Act.
I would assume that would be Lang. Yeah, that would be her dad, but I don't know if they ever did it. Said it.
It moved. Why am I not?
Elling.
You see it?
Elling is on. Where Metahumans is in blue. Is that his name? Elling.
Oh, Elling. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So General Elling. He ends up taking the serum and wants to fight Superman, and essentially pulls like he's a Red Hulk character, and just jumps everywhere like the Hulk. So I was like, oh, that's so on the nose. Everything about it, but it's funny because over the years, everybody's like, oh, you stole this idea from DC. Oh no, you stole this from Marvel, and I feel like at this point it's like a friendly thing where they're just like stealing ideas from each other.
Yeah.
This one was just. I'm like, this one's so obvious.
Yeah.
Good episode, though.
I mean, hell, very good episode. In Young Justice, they have a Spider-Man-esque villain who's the assassin. I don't remember.
Like a
His
Arachnid,
code name
maybe?
was just this. Maybe I was going to say the Spider, but yeah.
Let's see. Young Justice.
Spider-Man there you go. Spider-Man ripoff.
Black Spider.
Black Spider. There you go.
Arguably the best suit, the Black Spider, aka symbiote suit. So.
I would definitely agree.
Yeah. Geek Strong in the house. Good to see you. Steve says Blue Beetle was entertaining. Yep. Scooby Life in the house. Good to see you. Glitch Lab in the house. Good to see you. Spider-Man Home Alone. Yeah. Black Widow was disappointing for sure. They could have done better with the storyline. Yeah. But, yeah. You know what the problem is with Black Widow? Sorry, continue. You can go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, if they did it like Red Sparrow, not exactly like it, that movie, right?
Oh, wow. I forgot about that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. And not just for the reasons everybody's going to think I'm saying that's a good movie, but that was a good, like, Cold War spy movie. And it's like, yeah, everybody was joking, like, that's Black Widow. It is Black Widow. That's what the movie should have been. Something way more grounded than what we got.
Yeah.
And, show us her on her first mission or something like that. I don't know, but not what we got.
I thought for some reason she had an executive producer credit on this, which, I mean, anybody can get that. I didn't see it. Did I miss it?
I thought she was something behind the scenes because I think that was like a big deal too. I thought. Let's see.
Oh, did I click off producer? I did. All credits. Click off actress.
According to Google, Scarlett Johansson was an executive producer on the Black Widow.
Okay. Oh yeah, here you go. I feel like that movie, they gave her too much leeway on it, and that's an opinion I have. I know a lot of people get executive producer on stuff that don't do anything, but they just like in their contract try to get that. Oh, look at that. She has post-production executive producer on Thunderbolts.
Oh, interesting.
It's just, that movie was just so, it wasn't just so bad, but like her Black Widow was just so OP for no reason that it very much gave Gal Gadot Wonder Woman 84 vibes of like, you're letting the star have too much say in this movie. But whether it was true or not, I don't know. Speculation.
Yeah.
But
and we'll never know.
We'll never know. We'll never know. Creativity from the future in the house. Good to see you. Louis said Red Robin question mark. I remember that. I remember the movie we were talking about. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, Red Robin is in the Kingdom Come universe. That's Dick Grayson was Nightwing, and then he goes back to being, well, not goes back, but then when all the other heroes come out of retirement, he becomes Red Robin. So,
yeah.
And then they brought that into the main universe for a while. Yeah, that's the suit more. Well, the first one there, more or less.
Yeah. Could be he is going for campy. The yin to the yang of the original DCEU. I'm sorry, I'm so behind on the comments. Maybe talking about Aquaman 2?
I think he was talking about the campiness potentially of the Superman movie based on the trailer, teaser, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would personally I would just hope that Gunn's not really trying to do anything with the Snyder. Let's just not even call it the DCEU. Let's just call it the Snyderverse.
Right.
Don't do anything with that in mind, except for maybe try to be actually cohesive and successful. Don't compare yourself to that train wreck of a fucking universe.
Yeah.
Don't do anything to mimic it, even though some people will say that what's the new actor's name? David Cornett, whatever, the new Superman. They're like, oh, it's just a few years younger Henry Cavill. I mean, there is a stereotype that Superman should, quote unquote, look like in real life, and they all kind of look like, cousins of one another. So everybody's gonna look like Henry Cavill the way, if you squint your eyes hard enough, everybody looks like, all the other guys look like Christopher Reeve.
When we were talking about Red Robin, I was thinking about a different movie, and I wasn't thinking of Red Robin from DC. I was thinking about something else. What's that movie with Charlize Theron? It ended up not being very good, but it was supposed to be like John Wick, but like for girls.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. Yeah. I was hoping, I don't know, I wanted more of that vibe when it came to them. But again, this wasn't a great movie either.
Yeah. Let's see how the ballerina does, because that's literally in the John Wick universe.
Yeah. For sure. I love the Amber Turd comment. Yeah, Louis liked it too. Justice League shouldn't count. I actually enjoyed Justice League. Where did I rank that movie?
You put it 10.
Yes. Yeah. When I went to see this movie in theaters, I remember, it's a similar reaction to Flash, where like 10 minutes in, I stopped taking it seriously. 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, this is, yeah, okay. I know what you're doing here. You're just throwing the shit out and F it. Let's just have fun making this movie. It's not going to be a good movie. You just need to get this movie out there. So it felt very much like watching an episode of Justice League, except not as good. It felt like I was watching a cartoon. I could not take a single second of the movie seriously, and I enjoyed it. Like at the end of the day, I left it and I was just like, yeah, that was a fun time. Am I gonna like watch it when I go home? No. Am I gonna acknowledge this movie exists? Not really. But
yeah,
the 2 hours I spent in the theater, like when I left, I didn't feel like I utterly wasted my time. Like there's
that's important.
Like my friend Chris, he's like, well, Chris hates everything, but he's like, there's like fun bad movies, and then there's just like it's a bad movie. Like what the fuck? Like Justice League to me and Flash are like fun bad movies where like things happen. You're just like, like why the fuck is this happening? Like what are you doing? Like whereas like Black Adam is just bad. Like Wonder Woman 84 is just bad. It's so bad it's not even funny.
Yeah, I'll give you that, and I'll even agree with you. The Flash is a fun bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I would kick that lower. Definitely kick it lower on the list.
Cutthroat says, I think Black Adam was a little better than Shazam Fury of the Gods. I fell asleep in Fear the Gods. I woke up at the end. Don't remember what happened. Josh in the house, let's see.
I mean, yeah. Hey, Josh.
I mean, that movie's failure is all because of Black Adam. I mean,
Well, it's all because of The Rock.
Because of The Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
No, that movie was terrible.
By the way.
And I'll never forgive them for the tease that means nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? Oh,
this.
Red One? Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
50 million viewers. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So this is my favorite part. Our little Christmas movie. Red One shattered a viewing record for Amazon Prime with 50 million viewers this past weekend. A- cinema score ain't too shabby. I immediately went to the comments. After it was pulled from theaters, this person, no. This movie was trash. The story was so well crafted. The magic and Red's message. I cried and laughed. Let's see what this person's comments are. Look at you now, The Rock. That's the biggest comment ever. Why are you responding to a burner? Because The Rock commented to it.
Oh, he did?
This is like The Rock wrote this comment and then The Rock responded to himself, is what it looks like. The Rock also commented on this one. He said, because this person said it was pulled from theaters, and he was like, nope, we're still in 3,000 theaters. We decided on a limited theatrical run before releasing on Amazon to get multiple bites of the apple as we deliver for Christmas.
Sure.
Yeah. And then somebody had commented, this one, little in quotations, it costs 250 million. Because he wrote our little Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like Ryan Reynolds said, it's Chris Evans. Do you know what he does to a budget?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just thought this was funny. And in a related note, Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing a Christmas movie with Alan Richardson. And one of the meme pages I follow, they didn't realize that he was doing a Santa Claus movie. And they were like, damn, like, look at Santa, like, or look at Arnold looking like Santa Claus out there. Like, oh, our heroes are fallen. Like, he's all in gray and white now, gaining weight. And everybody in comments are like, bro, he looks like Santa because he's playing Santa Claus. So.
People are dumb.
Yeah. They give Green Arrow, Phantom, Stranger, and ex-Psychic. In that episode. Yeah. And Ambiguously Gay Duo, the movie. I would totally watch that. Wait, it wasn't Phantom Stranger. I think it was Crimson Avenger. I think you're talking about the Spider-Man character. But we ended up figuring it out, I think. Unless you think he's talking about something else.
No, I think he's talking about that Justice League episode.
Yeah. I still don't know how to say his last name. Tyler Hoechlin?
Hoechlin would be my guess.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah.
Clark and Superman. Yeah. Nobody disagrees on that one. Universally loved.
I'm excited to finally watch. I'm waiting for it to come on Max since my live viewing won't matter. And for season 1, I think it was like 45-minute episodes on Max. They just threw everything they would have cut to make the TV runtime. So once it comes on Max, I can't wait to watch it. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but certain people we know.
Some people. It's funny. I didn't realize that. I went to Max probably 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let me watch the final episode. And I was like, this doesn't look like a final episode of like a series. And then I realized, oh, they didn't release season 4 at all on Max, which I thought was just weird.
They take forever. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it
glad
just
it just.
wrapped recently, like November-ish. So,
I miss the good old days. And by good old days, I mean like when companies were stupid. When Arrow was like 1 week delayed. Like Arrow on CW premiered like a week later on Netflix at the time, maybe, or it might have been Hulu. It's one of the
oh,
two. And all of the CW stuff was 1 week delayed, and I was fine with that. That one I was like, ah, damn, like that's happening this week. I can't wait to see it. But it was close enough where I was just like, I could wait the week. I could wait the week to see it. But yeah, letting a whole season go by and then you drop it on streaming, dumb. Actually, I was okay with Stargirl was weekly on Max, or not Max. That
damn, I forgot
was DC Universe, I think was it called.
that. No, I think Titans
DC,
was DC Universe's app, and then I want to say, I think, and then Stargirl was Max. Went to CW to finish its run, and we were all like, "Why?" And did they only do 3 seasons of that?
2 seasons.
Really?
Was there
I
a
feel like
third
there was
season?
three. I feel like there were three.
It's funny. Stargirl. Oh wow, you're right. Those 3 seasons. I didn't
And
finish season
Stargirl
2.
was consistently good, by the way.
Yes.
Like, go
So
watch that if anybody hasn't seen it. It's got to all be on Max. Go
it's
watch it.
just like the Suicide Squad. Like Stargirl, Superman and Lois, great pieces of work that just nobody watched. Like nobody saw
Yeah.
them, and they just kind of go by the wayside. Stargirl was great. I didn't, and I'm mad I didn't finish season 2. I didn't realize they got a third season. I do want to go back and watch it now. But season
Yeah,
1, I was
you'll
watching it.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I was watching season 1 weekly as it debuted with Joel actually, and we enjoyed it. That was a really good show.
It was. And what's his name? Joel McHale as Starman was pretty damn good too.
Yes, yeah. Funny actually. Justice League Unlimited episode, Stargirl's in it with Patriot.
Yep. Oh, and yeah, Stargirl and
So you
what
had
was the robot?
It's not Patriot. I thought it was Patriot.
Well, he was like the Star Spangled Kid. Wasn't that his sidekick name? And
Yeah. So
Stripe.
Pat
Stripe.
Stripe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. So
Josh
Josh,
asked if we've watched Skeleton Crew.
yeah. All right. So I'll talk about that because you said you have not started it.
I'm not going to, so spoil away as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Legacy of Nerd in the House. Good to see you. Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. All right. I'll get back to these comments soon. Skeleton Crew. So I gave Skeleton Crew, and I actually didn't do a review for Creature Commandos. I just realized. Where are you at? Here you go. So, Skeleton Crew episode 1 and 2, I gave it a 3 out of 5. And I said here, for those who are just listening, Skeleton Crew is a refreshing change of pace from what we've been getting out of Disney lately. Is exactly what you'd expect, a clear attempt by Disney to create their own Stranger Things style show. While the characters are likable, there's nothing particularly memorable that hooks us so far. First 2 episodes could have easily been condensed into 1, but that's become standard for Disney releases. So everything I said there remains true 4 episodes in. I don't know why these are 4 episodes. These could have been 2, maybe. The kids are likable, and the star of the show is Neil, the blue elephant looking creature that's not I can't remember his name from Jabba's sail barge. Different species.
Oh, the guy in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So different species, but that's easily the runaway hit. Like the runaway star of the show is Neil. Even in this week's episode, Neil was like center of attention, and it's great because it's the baby Grogu thing. It's like, oh, the cute, character. The show's boring as fuck. I'm sorry. Like it's not a bad show. Like I don't watch this show and regret it. It's not a hate watch like Ahsoka. I just think that once again, we have a show that doesn't do anything to bring in new fans, and it doesn't do anything to increase excitement for Star Wars. Like it's a show with a Star Wars title to it, and that's about it. Like I said earlier, talking about something else, it's classic Disney where the entire season is one plot. You're trying to figure, Kenobi, we're talking about Kenobi. It's an entire season, multiple episodes of one plot thread, which is just like dumb. I don't understand why that's a thing. But I feel like it's such a forgettable show that the only reason it comes up in conversation is we all know Star Wars dedicated channels that we watch, and that's why it's coming up. But in non-Star Wars content creation, it doesn't come up at all. It's just very forgettable. That's not a knock either. Like if you talk Star Wars, you have to talk about the show. That's a given. But it's very forgettable, and I feel like if you watched it, I don't think you'd hate it, but there's just nothing to the show. 4 episodes in.
And probably what, 8 or 10?
8.
8.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure somebody will do a season recap, and I'll just get it from there.
I told Kenobi in his review, he dropped a reaction, and I was like, I'm ready for just action in the show. Like, it's 4 episodes, and I get they're kids, but they're still in the Star Wars universe. Like, I need some sort of action, and there's been none. There's been 0. So,
I'll ask a spoiler question, and you can not answer now, but tell me later. Is it like what's the mystery? Is it like the kids are, one of them is a Padawan, and not whatever, one of them is force sensitive, and like that's what kicks this whole thing off? Or is it just like that they're, because I remember, I think in a teaser trailer or something, like, do they find basically like a broken down ship and they fix it and it takes off with them in it or something?
I feel like answering this question, it's not going to ruin your experience.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's a spoiler to the extent that it ruins the experience. If you're fine with it.
I'm okay with it. Just, I guess, guys in the chat, if you don't want to hear it, hit mute.
Hit mute for 30 seconds. So they find the ship, right? All this is in trailer. They find the ship, get in the ship, turns on, jettisons off the planet, and now they're lost in space. That's all trailer, right? They find Jude Law. Jude Law's going to help them get home. That's all in the trailer. The mystery to the show is they know the name of their planet, and nobody that they run into knows where the planet is. They're like, oh, I thought that planet was like just legend. It wasn't real, because there's supposed to be like hidden treasure on the planet. So the mystery of the show is they're trying to find their way home, but everybody's like, whoa, that's your home? I want to go there too, because that's where there's like treasure.
Gotcha.
So that's the premise.
Okay. And what time period are we in?
Post Mandalorian time period. Like post Jedi.
Okay, so post Return of the Jedi, pre
Force
Awakens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I already think I know what the whole thing is. I mean, if you want me to tell you, or do you want to wait?
I don't mind at all.
So my speculation on the show, again, spoiler for another minute. My speculation is the planet that they're on, because everybody on the planet like has jobs, and it's a hidden planet, and they throw around freaking credits like it's nothing. Like the dude gives his kid like 30 credits for school lunch, and then when they leave the planet and go somewhere else, the people are like, whoa, you have credits on you, like rob that kid. Like, I feel like the planet is where the Empire kept their money, and we're gonna find out that like these innocent kids and like these nice parents are living on an Imperial planet that's hidden from everybody else. Like nobody knows that, because that's the other thing too. Like I said, they say the name of the planet, people are like, oh, that's not real. So I feel like the planet is hidden because the Empire kept it hidden, because that's where they kept all their money. It's like it's a bank vault, and that's going to be like the twist. Like they made it home. Mm-hmm. Their parents are happy to see them. Everybody's happy to see them. And then you realize, oh shit, they've been bad guys the whole time. Like, right. Oh, plot twist, my dad's a bad guy. Like, I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah. They already did that though. It's called Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Yeah. so like, as I'm watching the show, I'm just like, we're 4 episodes in, and I'm like, I've learned nothing really. Like everything that's happened so far, I'm like, yeah, we know. Like, we're not dumb. And I'm curious, actually. I'll scroll down the comments soon. I'm curious if anybody could let me know if their kids are watching the show and like liking the show, because that's the target audience. The target audience here is children, but we were children and we watched OG Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was
why they got to dumb it down for the new ones, for the new kids, the new generation.
And then I was talking this week about the Karate Kid trailer, which was entertaining. And I was saying how it gives me Lionheart vibes for kids, but I was like, wait, but I was a kid and I watched Lionheart. So like, kids can handle it. I don't know.
I watched way too many things I shouldn't have as a kid. I don't know. I'm not a parent. I shouldn't talk, but we got soft.
We did get soft. Mankiewicz, I've missed much talking about Superman. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Josh is saying he might try to get his kids to watch. Good luck.
Yeah, I would. He said it's okay so far. I don't mind it. Yeah, I would get your kids to watch it and let me know if they get hooked on it. I'm generally curious to see if kids watch the show and like enjoy it. Experience Explorers in the house. Good to see you, Matt. I think it's a great kids show. It's Goonies in space. I think it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's very much Goonies in space. At least attempting to be. Any significance to Jude Law character, Jedi, not Jedi? That's the mystery now. Again, it's not a spoiler. It was kind of in the trailer. Like we can't really tell if Jude Law's a Jedi or not. So the big speculation is that he's not a Jedi. I think it's going to be revealed that he is Force sensitive, just not a Jedi. I don't know. I just, it's not strange. Even Stranger Things. Like, think about that. Stranger Things is a show that kids watch, and it's bloody as hell. Like, push the envelope. So, I
mean, I don't know. That's one of the problems with Star Wars right now. They're trying to put up too many walls or too many like, well, this is for this group of the fandom and this is for this group of the fandom, and all you're doing is just pissing us all off.
Yeah, I was saying it with Ahsoka, where Ahsoka I hated. I'm never gonna shy away from that, but part of my frustration with Disney when it comes to Star Wars, and especially comes to Marvel, is neither department is doing themselves any favors to get the casuals in. And they're definitely not doing themselves any favors to get new fans in anything. And you're not going to grow. No. You're not going to grow a franchise. And sorry, the one that my number one offense was Ghostbusters this year. Award Venator, good to see you. That was my number one issue with Frozen Empire. Was I felt like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire did the franchise no favors to get new fans in, and new fans bring money. Hardcore fans, there's always guaranteed money, but there's not a lot of hardcore fans in any franchise. Like Taylor Swift's the only one. Like Taylor Swift breaks the bank, or breaks the rules. WWE breaks the rules. Like the hardcore fan base of WWE makes enough money that casuals don't matter as much.
Right.
But that's very minimal. Like you need casuals to help bring in increased revenue into any franchise. Actually, Metallica, right? I was talking to my brother-in-law, or my wife's brother-in-law. Does that make him my brother-in-law too? I don't know the answer.
I think so, because that would be your wife's sister's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's your sister-in-law, he's your brother-in-law.
There you go. Boom. I was talking to him about like how annoyed I was. I went to go see Metallica. Pantera was opening for them. So to me, in my headcanon, Pantera should be the headliner. Metallica's for them, but is what it is. The amount of people that were watching Pantera versus when Metallica came out, night and day. Like Pantera's performing, everybody around me is on their phones, sitting down. My cousin had no idea who they were. It was bad. This is in Jersey. I hate Jersey, but I feel like it might have been this way in every state. Nobody gave a shit about Pantera, except for like, maybe an eighth of the arena. But when Pantera ended and Metallica was going to come out, every seat filled up. There was not an empty seat in the entire arena for Metallica. But I'll tell you, when all the songs are playing, very little singing along except for Sandman and then because of Stranger Things, Master Puppets.
Right.
So you need casuals to fill that stadium. Without casuals, it ain't going to happen. When it comes to Ghostbusters, when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Marvel, you need casuals there. You need Baby Yoda. You need those people to make money. And Skeleton Crew does nothing to bring in new people, and I don't think it makes new fans at all. Long-winded answer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry.
And I'll agree with you for Frozen Empire. Afterlife did reinvigorated the franchise. Gave the hardcore fans like a lot of payoff and everything else, but yeah, they didn't do enough they relied on that again too much in Frozen Empire. Yeah. And then it was basically just it was Afterlife 2.0.
Yeah. It didn't do anything to keep you.
Yeah. I'll be surprised if the cartoon is canon, so hopefully the cartoon can do some stuff to bring in some new kid audience.
Yeah.
And then the third new movie.
If they get a third new movie.
If they do get it. I mean, I think so. Dan Aykroyd, he's talked about it, I guess, and he'll talk about it all the time. But apparently he's said in some interview, he didn't say he wouldn't come back, but he said like, well, they have a new crew that can carry it on now.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? I hate to say it, but yeah, that was one of my complaints about after Frozen Empire. You already had the OGs come back and do their thing. Like, yeah, you didn't need them to suit up again.
Yeah.
I don't mind have Ray show up as the occult guy, have Zedmore come in as the tech guy, have Venkman just like randomly show up on a TV screen because he has a new TV show. He doesn't even have to show up in person. That can be his, a very fitting thing. But
it could almost mirror real life. The actors, 2 out of the 3 are very disconnected from Ghostbusters at this point, even though they were the originators. Like Dan Aykroyd is the originator of Ghostbusters, and yet he is probably, well, actually, no, I'd say,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, thank you. Bill Murray's the most disconnected, but Dan Aykroyd's right there as far as being disconnected from the franchise. Like, Ernie Hudson shows up to events all the time because he's like, this is fucking free money. Like, why would I not do it? But Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd can give 2 shits about Ghostbusters at this point. And I feel like in the movie they could have mirrored that more than they already did. Like Dan Aykroyd, there's the scene where he kind of sees the Ecto-1 and he's just like that's awesome. He made it, but that's them. It's not my time anymore. They could have really like leaned into that. But I think in real life he kind of also treats it like that. He's like, yeah, it's a franchise. It's still going. That's great. I don't need to be involved anymore. I'll be a fan now. George Lucas, I'm a fan now.
Oh, George Lucas.
Actually, it's funny going full circle to Superman as we wrap. A complaint some people had was the Superman trailer had too many cameos in it. They feel like it might be too bloated. And I feel like Frozen Empire was too bloated. So, 2 movies, book ending this episode that, very well could be too bloated. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hopefully not. Like I said, he made Guardians work, and that had 4 main characters and the villains. So I'm going to try. As I said it earlier in the episode, I said it in the chat. This is really the first piece of live action content in his universe. We have to wait and we have to see and we have to try to keep an open mind and not do too much comparing. It has to be a new Superman movie. We can't compare it to Man of Steel or the Reeves movies or any of that. It has to be its own thing.
Yeah. So I wanted to, I made this post earlier today. I think I know your answer. But I'll still ask it. Safe to say we think DC can overtake Marvel for the next couple years?
If they actually get their productions up and running and pump out material, yeah, because I feel like DC, because of the nature of the fact that Gunn was brought in, and obviously he was brought in to start a whole new universe from scratch, he's making the long-term plans and all this other sort of stuff, whereas I feel Marvel had all these long-term plans, they let their success get to them, and now they're restructuring and trying to figure it all out. Like, what, this is, again, my interpretation, what the hell do I know? I feel like DC probably has that, or yeah, DC has that, okay, this is the roadmap for the next few years, we're going to do it this way, build it slow, and go from there. Whereas Marvel is trying to rein everything in, and, didn't they, like, is Thunderbolts the only live action movie we're getting this year from Marvel?
Captain America,
I think. Oh, shit. Okay, so
See?
2. But, so I think like DC is setting itself up for the future, whereas Marvel is probably like restructuring a lot of stuff while they also had a lot of like pots on the stove almost done. So like, they're going to be in like, oh shit, well, we kind of have to put this out, but we're still restructuring our plans a little bit here and there, but we already made this, we can't lose it, we have to put it out. So yeah, if DC can actually execute and pull stuff off, I think they have a real shot at actually taking the title for the year from Marvel.
Yeah. I first of all, I'm staring at this Constantine picture and love how they have the even detail of his entire apartment surrounded by holy water and jugs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Constantine 2, I'm excited for that.
Yes.
The latest Matrix movie, be damned. I still believe in Keanu Reeves, and I feel like Constantine 2 will fucking be great. But I also wanted to bring this picture up because they're hitting it with Creature Commandos that a lot of people are not watching, but they should. They nailed it with Penguin that a lot of people did watch. We have Superman, Constantine 2. On screen, we right now have 3 different universes that technically are all DC. Creature Commandos and Superman are one. Penguin's a separate one. Constantine is a third one. I'm down with them keeping it that way.
I am too, and we don't know though Constantine because so long has passed.
It could fall anywhere.
It could fall anywhere. So
they could literally throw it anywhere.
Have 2 and a potential third.
Yeah, I would love to keep them separate.
If we didn't get Creature Commandos, I would agree with you, but we got Creature Commandos, so they're already diving into like the world of like mad scientists and monsters and this and that. So is it really that far of a stretch to say in the Gunverse there's also the supernatural?
But you could bring in, what if you, I guess you can't, but you could, if you bring in OG Constantine from the TV show.
Could do that too.
And just pretend like the TV show didn't happen, you know? I don't know. Like, does Gunn, because that's the other thing too, does Gunn want to acknowledge that these other universes existed in his universe or in his world building? I don't think we know that answer yet. Like, he knows the Arrowverse is an Arrowverse, but in his DC universe that he's creating, he's acknowledged that Batman exists as a separate story, but is he going to treat it as a universe where he could do a Crisis at some point? I hope not. I don't want a Crisis at this point. Like, I'm good. Maybe before I die, we can do a Crisis, but at this point, I don't want a Crisis.
Well, I just mean like that's like his 10, 12-year goal, potentially.
For sure. Yeah. But what in that scenario does he do with an Arrowverse? I don't know. Because if that determines the Constantine factor. If the Arrowverse is done and it's not going to play a factor going forward in anything, screw it. Bring back that Constantine. He's Constantine here. But if we don't do that, and because we're like, oh, he was tied to that other universe, you could bring in Keanu as a Constantine in the current. But also same time, the voice actor for the DC animated universe, that Constantine was the same actor that was a live action Arrowverse Constantine. So you had him in two different universes there. Maybe you throw him in a third. I don't know. But he's another one that he's like, he was beloved by the fans. So like, I feel like we should use him. Brendan Routh crossed different universes too. But I don't know. I kind of liked Keanu being his own thing and being a more grounded. I would be cool with Keanu being in the Pattinson Batverse. I'd be more cool with that than him being in the Creature Commandos type of universe.
I
Less wacky.
I would be okay with that too. And this is all potentially solved, by the way, with a little timeline on Gunn's, like a little Elseworlds map on his Instagram or something one day that tells you what world is what movie is in what world and if it's shared or not. So
yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully we get an answer. I thought it was you guys were fucking with me when I saw that article or whatever I saw that they said Constantine 2 was announced. I'm like, okay, sure, come on. Because I think they had said it before and then like all the shakeups happened at DC. Or no, he said it. Didn't he say it on Colbert that he would want to go back?
Yeah.
But that was it. So, and then when I saw the article, wherever I saw it, I was like, yeah, okay, sure. But sure enough, shocker. Yeah. I have to watch it now for the 4K remaster too.
I legit was just thinking I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
The only movie watch party on the channel, Constantine.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we can do it again. Will the 4K, my last question, then I'll shut up. Will the 4K, and I'm Googling too, but will the 4K be on Max? I don't know if that's even a thing.
I don't know, but if it's on the Apple Store, then I'd be able to do it. Because I think I bought it a long time ago.
Oh, they'll just update your version?
I have the Apple. Yeah, they usually do that. And I have the Apple TV 4K, which is oddly enough old as shit right now.
No.
Yeah.
First, the Google AI result says HBO Max automatically plays the highest picture quality video, so you can check to see if it's a 4K. But initially it says yes, you can stream it on 4K on Max.
Is it Netflix? I think it's Netflix that they paywall their 4K. You have to have like the highest tier to 4K. Everything else is like 1080 or something.
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll tell you the truth. I only just recently logged into my Netflix for the first time forever because I started the McMahon documentary finally.
Mm.
And that is blowing my. The really last thing, then I'll shut. That's like, you know, I like the product. I watch the shows. I didn't really read too much about like the real behind the scenes shit going on. Like, oh my God, how did he get, if it's true, how did he get away with any of this shit? It's insane. He's a madman.
Yeah.
And he looks creepy as shit in the interviews. Like they should have talked him out of whatever face work he had done.
Yeah. It's Sal was correct. It's a good start, not a strong finish to a documentary, but I believe everything. And there's more to it. They just, I feel like the Brock Lesnar stuff, which you may not know, like Brock Lesnar was involved in a lot of his scandal. But
I mean, I know that because I heard about it in the news when it broke. I'm not up to that in the if they talk about it in the documentary.
They don't. Spoiler alert. But I feel like there's more to the doc that they could have done, but they can't because there's still people who are in play. Mm-hmm. That's my only issue with the documentary. Finalizing here, we have Cutthroat say, I like to see Green Arrow in the James Gunn DCU. That would be great, or even Deathstroke. What do you guys think? 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we as a fandom fell in love with Green Arrow, not just because of the Arrow show, but Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and Deathstroke in Arrowverse, in the animated universe, and in Titans. Deathstroke was a highlight. So, Deathstroke's one that so far they've not really missed on. I would love to see the Jason, what's his name? Magliano? What is his name? Maggiano? Sophia Vergara's ex.
Joe Manganiello?
Joe. Sorry. It's Jason. I still wish we got his movie with Batman, but, or Ben with Batfleck.
I mean, again, in a world where he's talked about Elseworlds and keeping it around, if he did like an Elseworlds animated movie and he got Affleck and Manganiello to voice act it, it's better than nothing.
Better than nothing, but man, live action.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Legacy said, if Keanu wants to do a Constantine movie, business-wise, you give him the movie. Yeah, especially after John Wick. After John Wick, Keanu got a blank check because we got another Bill and Ted movie. We got another Matrix movie. Both were shit, but we keep getting more because they're just like, give us more Keanu.
Yeah. I think they're doing another Matrix, right?
I hope not. Did you watch the last one?
Sadly, I did. I've watched it, never all the way through because I just can't do it, but I've watched it. Well, excuse me, that's a lie. On my own, I've watched it over a course of days, like you watched Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
And then one night I went to Josh's and the plan was to watch it. And then it was so bad. We kept pausing it and talking and just like anything else. And I'm like, all right, I guess we should probably go back to it. Hit play another 5 minutes. Like, oh my God, what's going on?
It's bad. That is such a bad movie.
Oh, again, the first Google result that says The Matrix 5 is an upcoming sci-fi film expected to be released. It's not going to be released in 2025. But
sucks.
Yeah, it says it is in development. Definitely not in 25, but
at this point, it'd be a 27.
Yeah,
unless they rush it out. I wish they would have covered when he turned into Vincente McMahon. I don't remember that one. That might have been he pretended he was Spanish. That might have been in the what was that? Aggression era. That was the John Cena era. That's when I was out.
God.
Because I don't remember that from Attitude Era. So it must have been Aggression. Or Ruthless Aggression, I think is what he called it. Dada says, I just watched the Superman trailer. Looks good. Elbow cough usually means that. So
Dab?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I liked it. I feel like us in the group chat liked it. The chat tonight was a bit split, and that's fair. I could see all the issues everybody called out. But I think my opinion is skewed because of James Gunn. I feel like I'm able to overlook any of the issues because I trust in James Gunn, or I believe in James Gunn. Probably more applicable of a statement. So we'll see. But if you're not watching Creature Commandos, you should. If you never saw Stargirl, give it a shot. If you never watched Superman and Lois, give it a shot. And if you never saw the Suicide Squad, you should. Blue Beetle, add that to your list. Doesn't have to be top priority, but add to your list. If for some stupid reason you didn't watch Peacemaker, make that priority number one. I assume most of you watched it, but if you didn't, don't watch it with your kids. I'll say that.
Yeah, don't watch that with your kids.
Yeah. Do you really want to taste it? That Vincente is when he came back to sell WWE and did all the talk shows with jet black hair and a pencil thin mustache. That was post them recording. They mentioned when he comes back, but I think all of that era of him was post the documentary being recorded. That's why. So Josh liked the trailer, not good enough to go to the theaters. It's going to take a lot of promo to get casuals in. Again, Josh is a great litmus test to all of this. If Josh is watching it, then safe to assume the masses are watching. And then obviously the reverse. So the way you feel, Josh, I'm sure most people feel. Very passable. The main star is not the big thing. But I did see a fan art today of Tom Holland as Superman, if he would have got it. And oddly enough, it looked like it would have worked. He's not tall enough. He's not buff enough. But, and I probably would have been like, oh my God, Tom Holland again.
Yeah.
But the picture looked good. The picture looked good. So we'll see. I'm optimistic. And we're not, again, we made it this whole time. We didn't talk about any spoilers of the trailer. I almost dropped one. So we'll keep it that way.
Yeah, let's end it before we screw it up.
Yeah. Any last things before we wrap today's episode?
Go head over to the channel, watch we finally recapped Comic-Con from this year. Go watch that. We both have our 2 in the boxes.
Yep.
And we're going to probably talk a couple more details on those soon. I've been screwing around with my PKE a little bit today. And yeah, that's it. And I'm reading Absolute Batman. I'm going to wait, I think I'm going to try to recap the first arc, if that's less than 12 issues, because I've been reading Wonder Woman and I'm like, I'll recap the first arc. It's still going on. The first fucking arc is 14 plus issues long at this point, and I'm screwed. So hopefully the first issue of the first arc in Absolute Batman is 4 or 5 issues, and I can talk about that before too long.
People like you need to be hired by DC because you're in this is the first time I'm probably going to ever hear this. You're in a minority that still actively reads DC comic books.
Comics in general. I've also jumped over to Marvel.
Yeah.
But
like the fan base that still actively like even has a pick list is just not large.
Well, sadly, I don't have that anymore. It's all digital, but yeah.
Yeah. Josh said, have a good one, gents. Good Comic-Con vid. Thank you. Hopefully you come this year, Josh. You need to.
He pulls off Doctor Strange very well without much effort. So
very well. Send us a picture, Josh, and I'll share it on Instagram if you have one readily available. If not, we'll look for it. But yeah, Josh does a great Doctor Strange on a very basic level of just buying things. So imagine if we put some actual cosplay thought into it. Kill it. You kill it. Cutthroat said one more question. Are we really excited about Batman 2?
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
I say yes.
Like really excited or just excited?
Uh, I'll have to go really excited since we're not probably getting anything from the main Gunverse Batman for a while. So I'll say really excited.
I'll go excited.
Okay.
Like I'll go see it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm going to see it. So
I will get really excited if initial reviews come out and it's like, whoa, you got to really go see this movie. Like if that's being like a universal opinion going into it, I will say influencers can skew my opinion on it. But for now, I'm just going to say excited. We'll see. Can we all agree that Pattinson is the second best Batman? Now you're just trolling.
legacy.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's an episode right there. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Like Anthony said, check out our Comic-Con review or recap. We just dropped that. We have our Two in the Boxes. By the way, I switched the location of my thing here to the side.
Nice.
I'm like tempted to mod it, but then I look at it and I'm like, it looks great. I don't think I want to mod it. So I'm on the fence about that. But more Ghostbuster videos are coming down the pipe. So make sure you are subscribed for that. Next week is Christmas, surprisingly enough. So I think I'm still doing a live. I think Christmas is on a Wednesday. Maybe it is. Yeah. So we should still go live. Yeah. I love you guys all. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Josh send the picture. I'll post it online later. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Keep on busting, as Dave says. Peace. We're out of here.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.